Hey, you want to know how to get a guaranteed 25% return on your investment? Don Gray, a tax associate at Everyday CPA and a seasonal tax expert at TurboTax, will show you how she does it so well that I don't have to pay her for her work at Everyday CPA. Welcome to the Everyday CPA channel, helping small business owners and families better manage their businesses and their families. This program will help you learn and adopt the strategies and tactics on business and family accounting and budgeting, credit management and improvement, and ways to build and grow savings to help you compete, win, and succeed, and hopefully live a happier, healthier life. This is Kelly Coughlin. I'm the CEO of Everyday CPA. Today, we're going to talk about personal budgeting and spending. I'm going to do this for two primary reasons. Families and households have been dealt an incredible curveball with this pandemic. Their balance sheets are destroyed, their incomes have been, in many cases, reduced or eliminated, and they need help. The second reason, I see many younger people using virtual currencies and stock trading and currency trading schemes as a way to try to hit the home run. And my fear is for most, this will result in disaster. For a few, it will produce a home run, but for many, it will produce not just a strikeout, but possibly get them kicked out of the game. Why out of the game? I've seen it happen. A self-appointed expert trader spouse invests the savings that was earmarked for a down payment on a home, and it's lost on a Bitcoin or stock or currency trade. You did what? Out of here. So today we're going to start by talking about some very basic and simple things related to budgeting and spending. And for that, I want to have as my guest, Don Gray, who is frankly an expert at this. She does some seasonal tax work for TurboTax, and she works for Everyday CPA on tax returns, and also helps our clients with tax debt who need to get on an IRS-approved budget for a payment plan or a compromise or a total write-off. She helps them use Mint to get on a budget and spending plan. But most importantly, Don is one of those few remaining coupon clippers. One of my favorite sayings is, even a small leak can sink a great ship. Don is an expert at plugging the small leaks. So with that, I welcome Don Gray as my first guest in the topic discussion area of personal finance, budgeting, and accounting.
I am.
Hello, Don Gray. How are you?
Good. How are you, Kelly?
Don, are you ready to talk about one of your favorite topics, budgeting, spending management, and coupon clipping?
I sure am.
What do you want to talk about, Don? First of all, why don't you tell us about you and your background? And I know a little bit about it. Your first career was a teacher, and now you're in the tax business. So give us a summary of who Don Gray is and why she's on this talk show.
All right. Well, I live in Minnesota. I have raised a son and a daughter who are now both budget conscious adults. And yes, my first career was in elementary education. I have a master's degree in elementary education. But now my second career is in tax and accounting. And I work with Kelly at Everyday CPA. And I also do seasonal work with TurboTax.
And you're in the TurboTax Live program, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
You want to give us your TurboTax Live script when you get a call? Do you remember it?
I sure do.
Let's hear it.
Hello, thank you for contacting TurboTax Live. My name is Dawn, and I'm a tax expert with 5 years of experience. For me to best assist you today, and on and on and on.
Oh boy, you've just finished tax season, so I bet you're happy to not be saying that. Or no, actually, I think you're still continuing, aren't you?
I am, for a few more weeks.
Okay, great. Well, Don, thanks for taking time out of your busy career. You have some work to do for Everyday CPA, so we'll let you get back to some of that work too. But I want to talk today about budgeting and I have personally learned quite a bit from you. How do you avoid being one of those annoying coupon clippers that you see at the grocery store?
Oh, well, I'm a very stealthy coupon clipper. First of all, when I clip my coupons, I keep them organized in a coupon organizer, divided by categories. And so before I go to the store, I make a list. I see what's on sale. I see what coupons may apply, and I have those ready to go so that when I'm at the register, I simply hand them over. I'm not holding anybody up. I'm not digging around in my coupon organizer. If I'm a little less organized and I see something that I might have a coupon for, then I make sure to get out of the way and search for my coupon. But when it's in an organizer, it doesn't take me long to find it. So I guess organization is key.
I have to tell the audience about Don helping me get one of these Nespresso machines. I love espresso coffee, and I didn't want to write the check the way she did for hers, and so I said I'm just not going to do it. I had an older one, and not Nespresso, but another brand, and so Don found I can't even remember how it came out, but normally it was like how much? $150 normally.
At least might have been closer to $200.
200, and I think through your tricks and tips, we ended up getting it for like $35 through a couple different coupons, and we used the Target Red Card, or is that what it was called? The Target Red Card. And
Yes, the initial Target Red Card sign up bonus was the main thing, but it was also on sale. So you got the Red Card promo, which was I think $40 off, and it was on sale. And then you would get an additional 5% off using your Red Card. So
yeah,
stacked on the savings.
Dawn is pretty good at this. In the office one time, I heard her barking at the Hellman's mayonnaise people because the mayonnaise that she bought, the design of the jar was such that she couldn't get about 10% of it out, and she pounded on them respectfully, a lot more respectfully than I would have done it. And then they ended up sending her $3, $4, $5 of coupons. So it works. It was an honest complaint. It wasn't trying to manipulate the system. She doesn't play that way. But I was impressed with that. Let me ask you a question, Don. Do you know the price of eggs and milk? Roughly.
Yes. Oh, yes, I do. You want
Okay.
regular eggs, free range eggs? It varies depending on what type of egg, but yes, I know the prices.
Okay. Here's another one that kind of gets all of us is how do you balance healthy eating organic food, which is costlier, right? Versus low cost, not healthy eating, so to speak. How do you get that? How do you achieve that balance?
Well, first of all, I don't think you have to buy everything organic. I think if you can buy organic things that are on sale. And when it comes to produce, they have the dirty dozen, which means the top 12 fruits and vegetables that have the most pesticide and insecticide on them. So which is, I think, apples and strawberries, any kind of berries are near the top. So I would focus on buying organic for those items when they're on sale and in season. I'm not going to pay $9 for a pint of strawberries, organic strawberries, when they're out of season. I just won't do it. But so I may not buy berries for a while, or I buy frozen strawberries, or any kind of frozen organic fruit is usually a lot cheaper and nearly as good. And also apples. You don't want to buy apples too often that are not organic. But again, I watch for sales, and I think more importantly, you want to focus on buying whole foods more than processed foods as far as health wise.
Whole
And
Foods, you don't mean the company Whole Foods, you mean not processed foods, right?
right, I mean, you know, buy a bag of carrots and a bag of potatoes and rice and, you know, make your meals out of whole foods instead of processed, you know, pre-made type foods. They taste better, they're better for you, and they're much better for your budget.
So it's an obvious, fair statement that I think you'd agree that the more processing that has happened to a food that comes out of the ground, the more expensive it is. That's because the more hands have touched it, the more machines have been working on it, the more ingredients have been added to it. So one way to budget is to get back to basic uh, eating of basic foods, correct?
Correct.
Do you think that's like in terms of your number one key? Is that where the healthy eating and low budget kind of intersect the best, is taking that approach?
I do. I think if you can minimize the amount of processed foods that you buy and consume, it's just better overall. And I'm not saying I never buy processed foods. I just try to keep it at a minimum.
But
And
potato chips, salt and vinegar potato chips taste so much better than regular potatoes.
they do, they do, but maybe just buy them once a month instead of
Okay.
twice a week.
Okay. What about the AM coffee? I already talked about the espresso machine. Um, what's your what's your idea on blowing $5 every morning at the Starbucks? What do you think that does to the budget?
Oh, it just blows it right out of the water. I would love to be able to do that every morning, but I don't. I do actually have my Nespresso machine that we talked about earlier, and the coffee pods for that are a little more expensive, but I maybe go out for coffee once a month at
Right.
really at most. I just don't do it. And also you need to factor in my case, I work from home. So if I'm going out for coffee every day, that's also gas and time that's not really well spent. And so I just find that I make my quality coffee at home. I'm perfectly happy with it. And it saves me hundreds of dollars over the course of a year.
Yeah. Have you figured out your cost per cup versus, Starbucks? I mean, have you figured that out? It's got to be 25% of the cost, right?
Yeah, my Nespresso coffee is about $1 a cup. And my machine is almost 3 years old now. So I've gotten my money's worth out of that. And I got it on sale, a really good bundle deal through Best Buy at the time. So, uh, yeah, I have not done the actual calculation, but it has to be probably 25% of what I would
Yeah.
normally spend at
Yeah.
a coffee
One of the things that
terribly
I've
worse.
seen with uh, people is, and I can't say, I'm probably somewhat guilty of it, but certainly in my uh, younger years, spending money at eating out, dining out, delivery. Uh, we didn't have Uber Eats and DoorDash and all these other things, right? But I've seen how, in going through kind of this budgeting for tax resolution and some work on the Mint area, people using Mint, how dining out as a general category, and I'd put coffee in that category, I'd put Uber Eats in that, food delivery in that category. Um, that's a pretty big budget buster, don't you think? Dining out versus cooking at home.
It really is. And again, I'm not advocating to never eat out. I love eating out. I really do. I'm a foodie. I love good food, good restaurants. Uh, but I maybe go out to lunch maybe once a month. And again, working from home kind of takes care of that. but even on weekends, on my days off, I don't eat lunch out. And I kind of save up for dinner. I love eating dinner out. And if I can find a coupon, it's even better. And, but I limit going out to dinner to probably once a week. There might be some weeks, or on vacation, obviously it's more than that, but I really try to limit dinner to once a week. And I think one thing that during the pandemic, I learned that I should say relearned that I like to cook. And I really realized all those days and nights at home cooking for my family that it was way cheaper and way more nutritious. And so that's just kind of carried over, and I think I'll keep doing that. I mean, you can make a delicious home cooked meal for a fourth of the cost, maybe a 1/5 of the cost of Uber Eats. Those food delivery services they have fees. Their menu prices are higher than if you order directly from the restaurant. If you go on the website for the restaurant, check the prices versus what the prices are on Uber Eats, for example. They're usually higher. Instead of $12 per burger, you're going to pay $16 a burger, plus fees, plus tip, plus whatever fees they like to tack on. So, the food delivery, the only time I've ever done it is when I've had a good promotional code. Otherwise, I just don't do it. It's just way too expensive. It doesn't make sense. It takes the joy out of the.
In the office a couple times, you've when we're jammed with work, we talked about getting pizza or something, and you started bringing in like frozen pizza type thing. Tell us and it was actually really good pizza. And so tell us which I've started doing myself. Tell us your tactic for that with rather than getting pizza delivery.
Yeah, again, pizza delivery, it can be tasty, but it's really expensive after you figure in the delivery fee and the tip and everything. And so Minnesota is the land of frozen pizzas. I think, have some. We're known for having or eating the most frozen pizzas per capita or something like that. But
that's because you just have to chuck the pizza outside and it freezes outside, right?
You can if your freezer is full. Sometimes in the winter you can just leave it out in the garage even.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, if you can get a decent quality frozen pizza for anywhere from, I would say, $5 to $8. Not the $2 ones. I'm not going to name any brands, but there are some brands I would not do this with. But a decent quality frozen pizza, and then add your own toppings. Add more meat like salami, or I like to add onions and mushrooms, jalapeno peppers, a little more cheese, things like that. So, and then you've got a much tastier pizza.
Yeah, you made that one when we were doing tax work. It had salami and jalapenos, onions. I can't remember what else, but man, it was good. And then you said, yeah, this is a frozen pizza. I mean, the crust isn't terrific, but it's good enough. And I think I asked you how much did all this cost, and I think you said $9 all in, right? And it would have cost
all in
22, 25.
Uh-huh.
Well, those are great tips. I think that's all I had here. I just wanted to ask you, are there any other tips I didn't ask you about that you wanted to share, or any other thoughts to give listeners an idea of how to live happy and comfortably, but not throwing away money, their hard-earned money, on unnecessary expenses. Any ideas on that?
Well, like I said earlier, just limit, things like dining out. Again, I love dining out. It's one of my favorite things to do. You just can't, manage your budget if you're doing it too often, though. And I think especially for people who work outside of the home, lunch would be a huge budget buster. If you're spending $10 every day for lunch, that could be easily $200 a month right there. And you could get it down to 50 a month if you brought your own lunch. So things like that. Organization again is key. Organizing coupons, and if you don't like clipping coupons or organizing those, that's fine. But then be aware of the sales at stores. And I basically shop the sale. One of my favorite local grocery stores, their new sale starts on Thursdays. So every Thursday I look at the flyer, I see what's on sale. I make a list of things and, meal ideas for the next week. And I buy what's on sale that week. I was there a couple days ago and I thought I might want to get a beef roast, but it was way too expensive on that particular day. And I ended up with a pork roast that was 3 times the size for literally 1/3 the cost. And we got 3 meals out of it. And so that was a good find. And at the grocery store, things on the end caps, that's the term for the end of the aisle. The end cap items are the sale items. If you don't want to actually look at the flyer, just see what's on the end caps. And I keep a list on my phone of, it's just in there all the time, every day. And I just update the date if necessary, but it's my grocery list. I just keep a list of things that I need. And not everything I buy is on sale, but, because obviously that's not going to happen with everything that you need. But if I see a really good deal on meat, chicken breasts or boneless pork ribs, anything like that, or ground beef, I stock up a little bit. I put it in the freezer inside a good Ziploc baggie, and then I'm good for meat for a while. And if staples like olive oil or broth are on sale, stock up on those. Don't go crazy on it though. Don't start being a hoarder. Just stock up a little bit. You can only use so much olive oil, obviously, but and also with produce, buy what's seasonal. Again, I'm not going to spend $9 on organic strawberries when they're out of season. I'll wait and see what's in season and buy accordingly.
That's great. So what I think I'm going to summarize that by saying you plan your menu around price and seasonality and discount. You don't plan your menu, right? And then get it fulfilled and say, I don't care about price. But you look at price, and seasonality is probably an indicator of price reasonableness. If it's in season, it's going to be most likely cheaper than out of season. Is that accurate? That seems like a simple thing, but right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is true. And just I've just always paid attention to prices, like eggs and milk, for example, because of production issues or things like that. The prices, for a while their milk was crazy expensive. I think it was about 12 years ago or so. It seems to be fairly low now, but there are times when eggs are a lot more expensive and then they go back down.
Yeah.
Or same with, so I'm always aware of those kind of price fluctuations, and I kind of have a running list of prices in my head. It's kind of a natural talent. Now, don't ask me to do an algebra problem because I can't remember how to do that, but I'll list off prices of things at the grocery store, no problem.
Yeah, the only high price thing that Dawn likes is her bonus at Everyday CPA and her wages here. There she wants it. She wants a very high price. That said, Dawn, thank you for your time. I enjoyed talking with you. I think you've got some great tips and techniques on how to do this. And I truly think that these are the best way for younger people to, oddly enough, start an investment program. People think, what's budgeting and coupons have to do with investments? Well, the best way to get a good return from your hard-earned wages is don't blow it on unnecessary things. So if you save those funds, put it in a savings account, you can worry later about what you do with it, but it truly is the best way to start a savings plan. But we appreciate your time on this, and we'll do it again, most likely.
All right.
Thanks
Thanks
a
for
lot.
having me.
Yeah. Thanks, Don. Bye.
Bye.